Hello, everybody. Hi, friends.
Hello.
Hi. How's it going? There's Sean. Hey, Sean. Laura. Yay. And Sue, Thomas, Elizabeth. Hi, everyone. How's it going?
Good.
Good? Good.
Great.
How you feeling today, Laura?
Good.
Good. Ellen. Yay. Hi, Ellen. Cool. Well,
Hi,
everybody,
how are you?
good.
You got
How
back
are you
from
today?
the UK very quickly. You went all
Yeah.
the way to the UK and back in 4 hours.
Yeah, right. It's a miracle. We've actually discovered teleportation works, and no, yeah, it's technology is amazing. It's pretty cool.
The technology on my camera is not. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
you're having you look like you're in
Try.
some kind of weird thing going on.
Yeah, wolf, right? I'm gonna.
Hi, Thomas.
Hi.
Well, hello, everybody. I think everybody here has been to one of these before, but if not, I'll still do my little, intro spiel anyway. There you go, Ellen. Now you look normal. My name is Katie, and I am still so grateful to Flute World for putting these on. It's really so fantastic. This time we are doing an Etude of the Week class. So every other little discussion that we do, sometimes I host conversations, other times we do actual flute playing stuff, and today is the flute playing one. So we've got a few people signed up to play. Laura, I think you're one of them. And I have Diana and Deb are signed up, but I don't see either of them here. So if one of you is Diana or Deb, and your name is different on here for some reason, let me know. But that being said, we have plenty of space and time if anybody else would like to play. So we're going to be doing the Gariboldi Etudes here. So basically, what number are we on? Sean, what number are we on?
16, I think.
Just did 16.
Great. Thanks, Thomas. Thanks, Sean. Perfect. So any Etude up to number 16, we can go through any of the Gariboldi.
I tried number 16 and the trills annoyed me too much, so I learned 17.
Oh, well, we can do 17 also. Since 17 starts on Monday, that's fine.
Okay.
I make the rules. So,
All right.
so that's totally fine. I also practiced 16 yesterday and was like, oh, it's the it's awful. So let's go ahead and go for it. We'll start with you, Laura, since you may be the only one. We will see. If anybody else feels like they wanna play something, start thinking about it while we go through number 17 with Laura. If you play Laura and there's nobody else that volunteers, then we'll talk through some other things about Gariboldi or Etudes or whatever. We'll figure
Sounds
it out.
good.
Cool. So let me just pull it up here. Gariboldi. Here we go. And I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Awesome. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. What is going on? Okay. No, they just want, this is just number 16. Okay, hold on. Open. There we go. Now I got it. Oh, we got some more people joining. Hello, people. All right. So, hi, Diana. Hi, Lori. Diana, you're signed up to play. Would you like to play today?
Sure, yes, I can
Awesome.
play.
Great. So Laura's going to play first, and then we'll move on to you, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. So Now we got it. Let me just change this view really quick. Great. All right. Can we all see that okay? Good. Perfect. All right, Laura, let's do it.
Right. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, nice, Laura. Very, very nice. It's awesome. Yeah,
Thank
your
you.
sound is like coming along so well. It's awesome. It's really cool.
Working so much on the breathing.
Yeah, you can tell. Really, it makes such a huge difference. So, what about this etude is? What are some of the challenges for you here?
It reminds me a little bit of some of those Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd cartoons.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. All of
So I have to try and make it sound a little more musical and not quite so cartoonish.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of these are kind of cutesy like that, you know.
Mhm.
Totally. Yeah. What are some of the things that you've thought of to do that, to try to do that?
Just give it more of a singing quality,
Yes.
um,
Totally.
especially on the notes that end the phrases.
Hmm. Okay. Very good. Yeah. I think it's so funny how all of these etudes, the endings are they're all like kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
But you know what? We all like cheese. I like cheese anyway. So
I like cheesy, but and also all the D flats to try
yes,
and get those in tune,
exactly.
um,
Hmm.
and marking in every stinking G flat on the page.
Ellen has a thumbs up for that one. Yeah, totally. Same. Yes. And actually, to me, when this key signature in D flat, we've this opening line, like the first measure, is the hardest part, I think.
Yeah.
Because to go from this A flat to D flat right away
Yeah.
requires a really, really good balance, first of all, because when you're going from all of the grip in the left hand to nothing, whoops, see, I almost dropped my flute. That will happen. It's like, oh, I'm gonna drop my flute, right? So you really have to make sure that the right hand thumb in this key is right where it needs to be, right? Otherwise, I'm gonna mute Thomas. There we go. Otherwise, it's it's really hard to stay stable if you do that. And this leap, like you said, making sure that first D flat is really in tune.
Yeah. I can't hear you.
Maybe my audio is, hold on. I just updated Zoom, so of course it probably changed all my automatic things. Automatically adjust microphone volume. No thanks. Don't do that. Okay. Here we go. Original sound. There we go. Okay. We should have this now.
There you go.
Good. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't notice any intonation issues with you. I thought it was really good. I just think it's important to point out, right?
Oh, yes.
Flat is a really important interval. Can we start again from the beginning? And I like that it says delicato, because even though it's singing and kind of cute, it's not. A lot of the other etudes in this book have been kind of dramatic, like a little more operatic. And this
Right.
one feels, it's just a little more easy. Like these
Well,
little,
it's
just like
tiptoeing through the daisies, yes.
Yeah, exactly. I like your tempo. Not too fast, not too slow. Just nice and easy, you know?
Well, it's not at the marked tempo because I just looked at it today.
Great. That's okay. Doesn't have to be.
Okay.
Not here anyway, you know? All right, try it one more time from the beginning and I'll stop you at some point.
One more time.
Good. So let's just work on this first part just for a second. I really do think this is it's the hardest part, the opening.
Yes.
So really nailing that first interval and the second one from A to D flat and then F to D flat, right? Again, this is such a balance thing here, because if your balance between your thumb, your first finger, and the pressure here is really stable, it gives you a chance to have even fingers. If it's not, you don't have a chance. It's not going to work out, right? So the tendency can be to really that's not so even. So actually think about slowing it down a little bit.
Okay.
Even without playing slower, just try to think of a little bit heavier through that and see what happens. It's so much more even, Laura. Like so much more even. Yes. Awesome. And then if you really make sure that first interval, again, the A flat to D flat, F to D flat is like, that's the goal, and the other just sort of flows like that, it's awesome. Then it doesn't sound so frantic, right? Yeah.
That's a hard way to start a piece of music.
It is. It really is. Definitely. Yeah. It's not the nicest scale, right? So lots of left hand stuff here for sure.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, do that one more time. I won't stop you so quickly this time.
Right.
That's awesome. So good.
Okay.
Right. And then the character can come out, right? If it
Right.
starts off feeling a little bit frantic and uneven, then already the character is lost, right? So
Well, I think that's why I thought it felt like Bugs Bunny running away.
totally. Yeah. And then coming out of that, you did really well this time. The first time you played it, the rhythm was a little bit lost in that second measure, right? Da 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 dum bum bum. That eighth note pickup into the third measure is really important to establish the rhythm of the melody. That way we're all kind of, we can sway the whole time. If you lose, especially in most 6/8, 9/8, 12/8, you know, whatever, or a waltz, you know, things in 3/4, there is this sort of sense of a dance in there. And the second that we lose the sway, that's sort of when we when we lose you, you know? So, but that second time was great. Good. Let's keep going, huh? That was very good. Go from the beginning one more time though, Laura, and then we'll keep going.
One more time.
Yep. Beautiful. Yep, there it is. Yeah. Nice, Laura. Good. So you felt those couple of times where your fingers are just like, nope.
And it is, it's a left hand issue of holding the flute steady.
Yep. So when we have a left hand issue of holding the flute steady, guess what is actually the thing we should probably pay attention to?
The right hand.
The right hand. Totally. Yes. It's a trickster there, right? Because you think it's the left hand, but really, if you don't have that stability in the right hand thumb, then you have, the left hand is totally going to be off from there. So let's talk about this for a minute, because I think talking about balance and holding the flute is so important, right? And then I'm going to compliment you on your breathing some more. But I'm sure that we've talked about this before, Laura. At least I know you and I have, but and maybe I have in this group as well, but we're going to do it again. So there's 3 main points of contact when you're holding the flute, right? We got your right hand thumb, we got your left hand pointer finger, and your chin. Those are them, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times, the right hand thumb is actually not doing the job that it's meant to do. I see, you know, when you see people holding their thumbs like way out way out here on the flute or whatever, as long as your thumb you're using it to imagine kind of pushing the flute forward, right? So this thumb pushes this way, this finger holds it back, and with those two working against each other, you should be able to, maybe don't try this at home, but hold the flute up without any other fingers, right? So for me, the way, and we're all built a little differently, okay? So, you know, the way that our thumbs work, I have like really long fingers and big palms. So I put my thumb like actually behind the flute, like in the back. Some people do, if you see the people that have the tip of their thumb out a little bit, that's okay, because if your thumb bends more than mine does, you can still use that part of your thumb to be, you know, pushing that way. So it's not that your thumb has to be all the way back there, as long as you're using it to push forward this one pushes back, right? And by push, this is not a really intense thing. It's not like you need to be
Right.
like, you know, but enough so that it feels balanced. So, you know, messing with that, I think, is really helpful. And
So-
then you're free, right? Because so
Yeah.
often we rely on our pinky, right hand pinky, because it's down most of the time, and our left hand thumb. We rely on those way too much for balance, and we can't because they need to be free to be able to move. That's why this is so hard. Because you're completely getting rid of the left hand, right? And then same thing from the F to the D flat, not to mention the intonation things, right? So along with that balance, we also need to be able to be making those intonation adjustments. And if the flute isn't secure, can't do that either, really, you know?
Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Does anyone have any questions? Or actually, this is a really good time to talk about, does anybody have any sort of issues that they sense when they play? Do you have any pain in your hands or your shoulders, or are there any things that any of you notice when you're holding the flute specifically that's a challenge for you? If you do, thumbs up, let me know.
For me, it's a lot in my neck
Sure. Yeah.
and shoulder, my left shoulder.
Your left shoulder. Okay.
And so the muscle on the side of my neck gets very, very tight.
Yep. That also could be even just a slight balance problem, especially again with the right hand thumb,
Hmm.
especially if you're holding in the left side here, right? It's tension from like trying to grip somewhere a little harder than you need to, right? So, oh man, I'm so tight. I've been gardening all day yesterday, so now my body's like, oh. But yeah, so is it kind of in the back here, Laura?
Yeah, it's this muscle right here.
Yeah. Yeah. So sometimes I think we hold the flute up with our shoulders way too much, you know? And I don't agree with the drop your shoulders thing either. The shoulders should be very neutral, you know? I've talked about Lee Pearson's teaching so much, but I think she's so amazing. So follow her if you don't. Lea. Here, I'll put it in the chat. Because she talks a lot about the use of our arms, and she had us one time, we were at it was in Boston, I think. And she was talking about our wingspan, right? When you see a bird in their wings, it's like, it's amazing. And if you think about the way our arms are connected to our shoulder blades, and the shoulder blades being connected all the way down our back, and how the spine is in the center of everything, right? Which you've got some spine things, Laura, so you know it's not that helpful. But if you really think about the connection to the lower body, more so than what's going on here, you have all this freedom to just let your arms like be, you know, instead of I'm holding this. And the breathing helps. I bet now with all of the work you've been doing on opening up your breathing and getting deeper, bigger breaths, that pain is gonna start to relax a little more. You know, we'll hope.
We can hope.
Yeah. Amazing. The other thing I wanted to say, even though there are not many dynamic markings in this one, there's one, right?
Hmm.
Missing any? We got the forte right towards the end on the recap of that main thing.
I in the middle, I felt like it was an implied opera buffo, and so
Sure.
I was trying
Yeah.
to make more of the here's the tenor coming in and singing opera buffo right there in the middle.
Like this part.
Yes.
Totally. Yes. Now, I think that's a beautiful choice. if you're going to do that, though, I think it's important to come back when the character switches back to the other, right? So, whatever, just so that there can be some kind of contrast once you get to that forte, you know.
That
You can
makes
see
sense.
where you want to bring it down, but I like the choice, opera buffo. Yeah, nice. Does anyone have any thoughts or questions or compliments for
No, I
Laura?
just wanted to mention that the shoulder thing can sometimes just be as simple as where is the music in front of you?
That's so true.
If you move your music a few inches to the right, it changes your orientation and it might relieve some of that strain.
It's a very good suggestion, Sean. Yeah.
Thank you. I will try that.
We like simple solutions to problems around here. Totally. Yeah.
Simple enough to try anyway, right?
Yeah. Gone are the days when I used to be able to like sit cross-legged on my bed with the music down and doing that. I can't do it anymore. It doesn't work.
You could do it, but you'd be paying for it for days.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Exactly. Wonderful. Thank you, Laura. Does anyone else have anything? No? Going once? All right. Diana, hello.
Hello.
Thanks, Laura. You're doing great. It was great. Where are you now, Diana?
Oh, I'm in California.
Oh,
Like northern
Northern,
California.
okay. Are you getting stuck in any of these storms that are happening over there?
Not right now. I think the weather is kind of improving, but it was snowing
It was
quite
snowing.
a lot more than usual this year.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it snowed here. I'm in Colorado. It snowed here last night. I woke up to snow. It was wild. Laura, did it snow where you are? Yeah. Laura's in Colorado too. She's just a little farther south. So, Diana, tell me a little bit about yourself. I don't think we've met before, have we?
No.
Well, nice to meet you now.
Yes, nice.
How long have you been playing?
I've been playing since I was 12, so I'm like 24 now.
Awesome. Half your life. Look at that. Goes by fast, huh? Great. So, what would you like to play?
I think I'll play 16 since
Perfect.
that's
Oh,
kind of
good.
the one I've
Good,
been
good.
working on.
Then we can talk about it. I know.
And I think it's actually one of the most difficult ones.
I agree with you. They really do. All these the trills that are in here are not easy ones, and it's really hard to keep the musicality of it going with all of those in there, right? But wonderful. Can't wait to hear you. Start whenever you're ready.
Can you hear me?
Yep, great. than I could do it right now. So very, very, very nice. Does anyone have anything that they would like to say, point out, ask? Nope, I'll start and then we'll get them talking. Wonderful. Can you tell me a little bit about how you practiced this, Diana?
Actually, no specific
Yeah.
specific way. I mean, I did practice some of the trills separately.
Sure.
And actually that ornament, like on the third line,
Yes.
in measure 3,
Yes.
I actually practiced it, I think, wrong, because I could do it yesterday with no problem, but today it's not really coming
It's
out.
funny how that happens, you know.
I think I played it
happens to me all the
too
time.
fast or too much. I'm not really sure. And I was practicing like kind of those arpeggios.
Yeah.
Starting with the top note and then trying to make that top note more resonant, and then kind of adding one note to it at a time.
Can you show us that? I love that idea. It's awesome.
But I was kind of just doing the F sharp and like coming to it from E, like,
Yeah.
and sort of like trying to find
Yeah.
better
Yeah.
sound.
Really finding the placement of the F sharp there. That's
Right,
beautiful.
and then like doing the C sharp to F. And kind of trying to
Yeah. This is a
make it to
wonderful.
the very beginning of the passage.
That is a wonderful way to practice. A lot of these, especially in etudes, because they're not as long, right? But if you have etudes or you have a sort of challenging section of a piece of music that you're playing, to start from the end and work your way backwards that way, one note at a time, is great for your brain. And I love that you're doing that with the goal of having that F sharp be nice and open and resonant, right? It worked very well. So good work. So I want to talk just a little bit about Lena says, I hate high F sharp. You are not alone, my dear. Trust me. But there are some exercises. Maybe we can do some F sharp exercises here in a second. We'll see if I'm in the mood. But whenever we have a lot of ornamentation like this, trills, just whatever, all these grace notes things, it's good to practice them without them first, right? So especially for some reason, this is such that in measure 12, in measure 14, these it's so hard to keep the rhythm going, right? It's kind of a distracting thing, I think, in a way. So how do we keep it sounding like it belongs in the melody, right? And keeping it in rhythm when we have these difficult things? And I think it's very important to get it in your ear without it first. So if we go back to, like measure 12. Right? And it really, you can feel that it's a tension and release thing. It's like we're in Jaws all of a sudden. But can you try that? And then we're gonna add just the trills first, and then we'll add the other thing, but we're gonna go one thing at a time. Awesome. It's so simple, right? And it fits. What did Ellen say? Hold on. Yes, this morning Paul said something. It's easier to start a trill than to end it. That's exactly right. Yeah. I had a conversation with Paula Edmund Davies this morning, and we were talking about trills and how once your fingers get going, it's like, oh, it's kind of hard to get them to stop, right? So I think it's something really good to be aware of here, for sure. Okay, so now let's do this again. Da, 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 da. and just do the trill. Don't do the little turny thing. Turny thing is the technical term, in case you're wondering. Nice. Good. Yeah. So especially in the lower register, I think those ones are a little bit harder to stop in time, right? Because we want to still feel this. So almost stop it stop the trill just a little bit sooner. Just a little, and see what happens. Nice. Yeah, good. Then we have time for these stupid turns. I'd rather just leave them out, but they're in there, so I guess we should do them. I guess. So let's just practice this without the trill now.
Oh, without the trill, just
Without the trill. Yeah, you can go for measure 12 if you want to. That's fine. Good. Yeah. Nice. Do that one more time. Good. Yes. It's really important in this specific one that those notes come before the beat so that you're landing on this C sharp really on beat 2, right? Which you did just there. Good. So now with those, separating those two, let's try to do all of it together. Yeah, I know. Yes.
I guess I'm making the trill too long.
A little bit too long. That's right. Good. I'm glad that you heard that. Very good. Good. I know it's yes. Better. That's much better. Yes.
Somehow
but
the
it's
low one is more difficult. I guess more
it is.
fingers
Yeah.
involved.
Definitely. Because yeah, there are more fingers involved. That's very, very true. Yeah. Let's do the low one just a little bit more. Okay. So just take that one measure and choose which one you want to leave out, either the trill or the turn, but we're going to do the same thing, right? One at a time. Yes! Awesome! That's so good. It's so much better, right? Now we have rhythm. It's amazing how, again, a simple solution. Yes, exactly, Laura. It's also a balance issue. We have a couple of questions here I'm going to answer. Lena says, second octave, when you trill E and D, do you keep the left hand index? I keep it up. Does everybody agree with that? Yeah. Yeah, I keep it up. And then sure, yeah. I think I am not the right person to ask for correct fingerings and things because I just do whatever sounds the best in the moment. Sometimes I change things around. So don't quote me on that, but I think as long as if it sounds right, if it sounds good and in tune, then it's good. And if it helps with your balance, even better. And Ellen says, what would you say about using the trill fingering for the high E in the turn? Again, if it sounds okay and it makes it easier, do it. Let's see with that. Yeah, so you could just lift the ring finger there. Okay. Sounds fine to me. What do you guys think? It's almost harder for me to do that though, because I don't know. You know, mess around with them, everybody, you know? I think that's a part of the fun thing about these kinds of etudes, especially when you have difficult things like this. It gives us a chance to play around with different ways of doing things. I don't think that there's one right way, you know?
At the speed that's going by, I don't think the trill fingering there is a problem at all.
I don't think so either. Yeah.
And on the other octave, you can leave some fingers down on the right hand to make it easier too.
Yep. Yeah, for the C sharp especially. Just leave the whole right hand down. It really helps. Yeah, so when you're going, leave the right hand down. Yeah. That seems good. For sure. Yes. I think absolutely yes to all of these questions. Do the thing that makes it work and sound good and helps you get through it, for sure. It helps for the intonation of the C sharp, exactly, to leave your right hand down. It helps bring it down a little bit. So that's very good. So Diana, that was so much better that time. Did you feel that? You could feel the rhythm. You knew where the C sharp was supposed to land. It's fantastic. So let's go back a little bit. Do you have a C sharp trill on your flute?
I don't know actually.
Okay. This is actually a good thing. Who here has
I might have it.
trill? Do you guys know? Do you have one? Yes. No, Laura.
That's the one trill I really practiced before I, did my half-baked recording, was because I never had one before I got this new flute. So
Yeah.
it's getting used to coordinating and yeah.
It is. It does. Absolutely. So the C sharp trill key is, if you see the little guys here, do you have one or two?
I have just one.
Okay, so you don't have a C sharp trill. That's okay. What it does is it adds there's an extra key here above the B key.
Oh, interesting.
And it makes it so easy to go from B to C sharp because you just do instead of it's and same if you have to go from like high G to A. It's very useful. If you don't have it, it's okay. You just have to work a little harder. That's all. I was just curious. It's my I don't really care about splitties and C sharp rollers and things like that, but the C sharp trill. If you ever get another flute, check that out. So let's go. I'd love to do that section again and then just keep going, Diana. If that's okay with you.
Yes. The only thing is I'll have to leave in 6 minutes.
Oh, no problem. That's totally fine. Why don't we just have you actually then start a little later? Why don't you go from measure 30 and play from 30?
I don't have measure numbers.
Oh, you
in my
don't.
version.
Okay, it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th line down. It's the second measure.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
Yep, perfect. again, it's the cheesy ending. I love it. Beautiful. Diana, you have such a full, lovely sound. I think your high register is sounding great. I would just suggest, go back through those little sections especially with the turns, and just really get it in your head without those things first. And I think that'll help. It tends to kind of slow down, drag a little bit when it gets to that part for me too. So it's the hardest part, but I think that's the solution for that, Do you have any questions?
I have one question.
Yes, please.
Like, how do you use the nose resonator? Like, I have heard people talk about that you can try to feel the cavities inside of your nose, and like that can make your sound more resonant. I've been trying for months kind of to try and feel it to make my sound better, but I'm just not feeling it. So.
Do you like sushi?
Yes.
Go and just eat like a bigger chunk of wasabi than you normally would. That place, I think it's Pahud actually that talks about the wasabi spot.
Oh, interesting.
Because that point when you get a little too much wasabi and it almost makes you cry a little, that's the point that I think is kind of important to be aware of. Now, in response to that question also, we don't have so much control over this. There's not much you can do, right? So, but I do think that just having an understanding that all of the cavities here contribute to the resonance, right? The openness in your chest, openness in your throat, especially the vowel shapes that are going on inside of your mouth, right? I think it has more to do with the placement of your tongue and the soft palate of above. If you can really give an open, watch some singers. If you can find some really good opera singers, if anyone has any suggestions, put them in the chat, Laura. And if you watch the way that their mouths are and how deep all of that is, it really helps. I also think it helps to focus on this sort of third eye point here too, and making sure that this isn't too tense here, and release. So if you release here, open here, this kind of comes too, right? So I also think there can be a danger to trying too hard to like open your sinus cavity or open your throat or do all of these things, because you're actually adding more tension than releasing it. It's almost better just to be aware of it than actually really try to make changes. Just know that point exists. Go get a chunk of wasabi and then it'll help. What do we have in our chat here? Maria Callis, Renee Fleming, totally. Oh, thank you, Ellen. We got
actually just found out one thing just when practicing yesterday. Is that if I focus on my shoulder blades and like before I breathe in, I try to really feel them sort of more wide and more down, then that makes my sound better. And I never paid attention to that.
Yes. It's amazing what a difference a little bit of attention can make.
Right.
That's it. With no other effort in trying to make huge changes, just to, shift your awareness. That makes so much sense, Diana, that would work, because it automatically is going to help you to breathe deeper.
Yes. Right? I used to try to keep my chest more open, and that wouldn't do anything. But then I just tried keeping my shoulder blades more wide, and that automatically made the chest more open somehow.
Helped me take a better breath just now. So there you go. There's an issue with awareness and attention because there's so many things for us to focus on, right? We have our breathing, we have the balance of our fingers, we have what's going on inside of our mouths. How is my articulation working? I'm feeling really scared and insecure about this. So now all of my fear is triggering all this other tension and all of these other things. And am I playing the right rhythms? And is my F sharp going to come out? And right? So to just, first of all, it's so beautiful that we have an instrument that requires our breath, because breathing is the center of everything. And, you know, when you really get into practicing meditation or yoga, meditation specifically, it helps you kind of quiet all of that noise. It's focused around breath as well. So awareness of breath and where you're breathing is, you will never go wrong with that attention. Then you can pick and choose. Okay, today I want to put a little bit more attention on what's going on in the rest of my face. Try relaxing your forehead, see what happens there. Or, you know, drop your jaw a little bit, see what happens there. The rest is curiosity, but breathing comes first, right? Yeah. Sorry, there was a soapbox, but I love that, Diana. Thank you for sharing that. Does anyone else have anything to add, or any thoughts? Any questions, comments, concerns? Any gardening advice? Just kidding.
Well, just to add to the discussion, I do Pilates every day, and
Awesome.
and they talk about putting your shoulder blades in the pocket when you're on the reformer.
So cool.
And then when you inhale, you're unknitting your sternum, and then when you exhale, you're knitting it back up.
I love that.
One of the instructors talks about opening the fins on the sides.
Yes. That's awesome. I love that. The shoulder blades are powerful.
Yeah.
Really. I want
But
to
then
go
it
back.
throws off my balance.
Yeah. Yeah. Has anyone else done Pilates, or have you tried it? I did it a long time ago. Yeah. Awesome. Lori's done it. Sean, no. It is kind of incredible to connect to your core that way.
Yeah.
You know, it brings a different awareness to different parts of the body, for sure. Let's see. Oh yes, Yvonne, give me a link to the Gariboldi in this chat. Yes. If you go to etudeoftheweek.com, you should be able to download it there. I think I was making some changes to that website though, so I'll double check it after this and make sure I didn't break it, because it's very possible that I did. Oh, I don't know. Great. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for coming. I love these so much. 3-dimensional breathing. Yes, Lori, totally. If anybody has any further thoughts or questions or comments on any of this, please feel free to reach out. Post something in Etude of the Week if you want. I'll respond if you tag me. And it's so fun. I love this. Any other anything from anybody? Any other anything? Oh.
Can Lori talk more about 3D breathing? Can Lori describe that?
Oh, hi. Yeah, just really expanding the rib cage is a big piece of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, just
yep. It's the
dimensional instead of just front and back out to the sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah, I think it's always good to kind of check in with the rib cage, right? Because especially if you know, put your hands on your sides and feel the way they expand outward. And same front and back. Put your hand on your back and feel the way they expand backward. A lot of times we just think of it here. Even just thinking of it lower isn't quite enough, right? The front and back and to the sides, I think it's really helpful to notice and feel that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, breathing. Yep. Awesome. Well, the next, let's see. So in Etude of the Week, remember tomorrow I'll be posting, as early as I can, I'll be posting the links to the Paul Edmund Davies exercises. We'll be doing the Gallet studies starting tomorrow. I'm really excited about that. And for Flute World classes, the next one is going to be on April 8th. So would love to see you there. I am probably going to do a couple more little just things because I feel like it over the next couple of weeks. So keep your eyes peeled. I'll post about it at some point. But otherwise, have a great rest of your evening, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you soon. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.